Well, a very good morning to you. I hope you can hear me above the sound of the rain. I was going to say the sound of the snow, but snow is very silent. And this is Sunday. And yesterday and last night, there was a huge storm blew through here, dumping lots and lots of rain, and that was Storm Bella. But anyway, I'm here in the tunnel. I've just been for a walk around the woodland, and hardly a twig has blown off the trees. Everything is safe and lovely, and I just sat down in a chair, and it's a wee bit damp, even though it's in the tunnel. I just feel the dampness coming through. So yeah, myself and Jack have been for a lovely walk around the woodland. And masses and masses of water flowing through streams. With this stream, it's one stream, but it's just a mass of water, and of course it's all been channeled, beautifully channeled, so I've no complaints there. In fact, I've no complaints at all. As I walked over to the cottage to get the camera to make this little video, I just started laughing, which is something that regularly and spontaneously happens. And I just think it's the joy from Mother Earth, you know? Because as I'm walking, there's obviously energy everywhere. I think the energy is just flowing up through my body and into my head, and I start laughing for no apparent reason. Well, for no apparent human reason. There is a lot of joy out here today. And of course yesterday I finished planting my trees. I planted 23 trees in total during the month of December. And that's something that brings me immense joy. And I've been working here in the tunnel. I've been clearing, even the big evergreen tree that was over there in the pot, I've planted that as well. So now it's a time for tidying up the tunnel and cutting back. I've been cutting back the rows. Just pull back here so you can see. Clearing the beds a little bit, cutting back, pruning. I've started on the nectarine tree. That's the tree there with the yellow leaves still on it. So I think I need to take about at least half of all the growing shoots of that, because it becomes very heavy with nectarines, And the little woodland garden at the top of the tunnel has gone a wee bit berserk. I should get the Latin name for that, Woodland Berserkia. And of course, as is always, the doors of the tunnel are left open all the year round. Because you can see just there, on the south side, it's very sheltered. There's bushes and shrubs growing, filtering all the wind. And then down on the north side there's lots of trees and shrubs on the outside of that. And the wind very rarely blows from the north. It usually blows from the south, or the southwest, or the west. Occasionally the east, but very rarely from the north. So, many of you know I bought myself this little trolley. It's fantastic. I wish I had have had one of these years and years ago, because the amount of haulage that I've been responsible for up and down these 3 acres. So this is going to make it much easier. There's a little robin in on the wood, all the dry wood there. You can see the snow now settling on the plastic on the tunnel. This tunnel is now about to enter its 17th year. And there's no loss on the plastic at all. It's the same plastic. And needs cleaning, needs washing on the outside, but look. Tight as a drum. So it really has served me well. And I know a lot of people ask me, what kind of plastic is it? What kind of plastic? Well, it's a middling price plastic. At the time when I was building this, well, my friend Michael was building it, but we were all involved. You can see it's all hand built. Now there's lots of videos and blogs on Bealtaine Cottage on the Polytunnel and how it was built, so you can find them. Or if someone knows where they are and wants to post a link, because there's over 1,100 videos now on this channel, and I couldn't begin to tell you how many blogs over on the website. But we had to send away for the plastic. You know, it had to be posted to us here in the west of Ireland. And Michael said, look, there's 3 different kinds of plastic. There's whatever it was, something milled, then there was 6 mil, and then there was something else milled. And I said, well, just, you know, the middle price, because I was literally counting my pennies, you know. So I thought I won't go for the cheapest one, but I'll go for the middling price one. So I think it was 6 mil. But it's not so much the quality of the plastic, you know, that you buy for your tunnel. It's the way it's put on. It's the way it's covering the tunnel. And this plastic is buried outside. It was just laid flat on the ground, you know, outside of here. It's just, it goes down like that and then flat. And then we just banked all that up then with earth. So there's an earthen path on either side of it. And of course, a very sheltered position as well. You don't ever want to be putting a polytunnel in the middle of a windswept land, you know. So as soon as I had the polytunnel up, I began planting, and you can see over there, looking to the west, there's a lot of shelter now, you see. So, and of course I dug the tunnel out as well, so it's actually much lower in here than what it is on the outside. Now the peach tree, which is that one, which is trying to escape through the plastic, that has to be hard pruned, and I'm really going to hard prune that because it's very, very vigorous. It does grow at an enormous rate. I don't know a huge amount about pruning fruit trees. I mean, what I've just learnt by trial and error, and a little bit of Googling, a little bit of watching how to do it videos over on YouTube, here on YouTube should I say. So I don't mind if it rains and snows, because it'll give me a chance to get over here and continue on with the work. Jack seems to like standing out there in the snow, but I suppose his breed is used to outdoor work, and you can see from round his hindquarters there, he's beginning to molt. He's going through a seasonal molt, so I'll have to give him a good brush, a comb through. So I think the worst of Storm Bella has moved on through the UK, and I don't think this snow will settle because the ground is too wet and it really isn't cold enough. And as you can hear, it's a mixture of snow and rain. You can hear that on the tunnel. got a good pile of dry wood down there, and that's a pile over there which is drying. A lot of this is ash, you know, because a lot of the old ash trees have got the Chilara, the ash dieback, and so any amount of wind, you know, there'll be bits and pieces dropping from them, because a lot of it's dead. So I go around and I collect some of the dead wood, not all of it. About half of it I leave on the land anyway, just to feed the soil. So, I feel very pleased that I can look back now on the month of December, the last month of the calendar, the human calendar year, and say, oh, I've planted all those trees, but I've actually got more to plant, and I'm going to be buying a few more as well, because listening to Diana Beresford Kruger, she was talking about the Irish oak and saying what a splendid tree that was, how it would grow in wet, and you know, it doesn't matter what the climate throws at it, it appears to grow very well. So that's what I've discovered here, because I've planted a few Irish oaks, but I'm going to plant some more. And of course people say, well, where do you get the space to plant the trees? Well, to go back on the beginning of the blogs, the website, the beginning of the videos here on YouTube, you'll see that the planting here has been quite successional. So the first wave of planting would have been pioneer trees. It's birch and willow, and a certain amount of alder as well, and all the little trees in between that soak up water, drop leaves, and thus are pioneers. They get the land ready for the trees that will be here for hundreds of years, like the oak. So I'm clearing, not digging out any of the willow, because that would be silly, but I'm cutting it right back to what's called a stool, which is about, it can be ground level, but it's usually about 6 inches to a foot off the ground. And from that of course grows like a basket willow, because you get lots and lots of shoots coming up. There's a little drop in there, look. So, of course, once you cut back the willow, lots of light comes in, and of course young trees need to have the light. So that's all part and parcel of woodland management. You know, a lot of people think, oh well, plant a woodland, just plant it and walk away. That's really quite shameful, really. You know, plant trees and then walk away from them. No. From what I've learned over the past 16 years, it's about continual nurture. Like you do with children, continual nurture. And it doesn't matter what age your children are. I have children who are in their 40s, and it still is continual nurture, because that is very much what we should do, especially as elders. We need to always nurture the younger generation. Very important. And that's why I think Diana Beresford Kruger said that, you know, the future health of Mother Earth is going to be dependent on women. women planting and nurturing. So, walk back over to the cottage. Might get a little bit of water on the lens, but never mind. I put stone down here in the path, just a few shakings off it, you know, to give me a better grip. You can see some beautiful colours. You know, the thing about the winter garden, the winter woodland garden, is the amount of beautiful colours that you get that you just don't see the rest of the year. You know, a lot of the shrubs get quite vibrant stems on them. And then you've got the evergreens here, like the photinia. Got some beautiful colours. And the shrubs here, like the spirea, they go quite a beautiful orangey brown. Put this little thing up here, look for the birds. And there's still a lot of greenery around. So, blessings to you all, and I'm going to load up this little video now. So I'm sure some of you thought that I'd gone away somewhere. No, I've just been very hard at work. I have been posting updates on Facebook and also over on Twitter. But I think now for the next few days it'll be working a little bit on my website. I want to get out here and take some photographs so as you can see all the changes. Some of them quite subtle, some of them quite dramatic. A couple of little pots blown over there, just slightly. That one over there, look, I just need to straighten that up. It's amazing though how sheltered this place is now. The storms come and go. They don't seem to have any impact at all. The trees give the shelter, and the stream, as long as it's kept clear of leaves and isn't neglected, will channel and take the water off on its journey. So blessings to you all, my friends. Blessings to you all.